Hi everyone, this is the Billiards Doctor again, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to have the perfectly straight shot in pool. So what you can do so that your shot is perfectly straight, some good drills for you to practice. So the first drill to practice is pretty simple. What you do is you take your cue ball and you put it on the dot, right there. And then you take a piece of chalk and you put it on the diamond across the table. So that should be a straight line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up this shot. I'm going to hit at the piece of chalk, and the cue ball should come directly back to exactly where my cue tip is. If I see myself consistently hitting it to the right or left, or the cue ball is hitting the rail and then moving to the right or left after it hits the chalk, that tells me I'm putting on different types of side spin or possibly different types of swerve. So it's good practice. So this is a very focused shot. Always hit these with a little bit of top spin like I talked about when you're doing the lag. Just a little bit of top spin. Hit it, medium soft. You don't want to hit it too hard. The harder you hit it, the easier it is. So if you hit it softer, that really is good practice. So really focus on that pendulum stroke. Perfect. So that it's harder than you think. Trust me, it's harder than you think. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of practice with your stroke to really be able to be that good at it. Because you hit a little bit off and it's not going to come right back to tip. So that came directly back to my tip. That's what you want to go for. If you're really advanced, I've never seen anyone do this successfully, but if you're really advanced, an even better drill, which is I've never gotten this, and I haven't practiced this too much, but you do is you take some ball, and your goal is for the cue ball, or I'll put it with the 8 ball to make it less confusing. So this is a really difficult drill. The first one you can practice on your own. It's really easy. It'll tell you if you're putting on side spin. Like for example, back when I did more of an American stance and my shoulders were very turned towards the shot. So I used to shoot very much sideways like this, which see my shoulders are sideways. Now I shoot much more square. And when I used to shoot sideways, I noticed from this drill that I was putting left spin on every one of my shots, every single time. And I could tell because it would hit the rail and it would go a little bit to the left. It would come this side. So what I did is I had to switch that. So after practicing and trying new forms, I realized that having square shoulders had allowed me to get that straight shot as you just saw. But if you really are really good at this and you really want to take this to the next level, a good drill that is really fun to practice is this drill. So I want to hit the 8 ball. I want the cue ball to stay on the line, so I'll hit this with a little bit of draw, so it stuns it. Have the 8 ball hit the chalk and come back and hit the cue ball. And it should hit it straight. So ideally the cue ball should come back and hit my cue. This is almost impossible. It's kind of a fun drill to do. So let's see if I can get this. Nope, see, it's too hard. Anyways, so that's one drill. Another drill that's like super easy to do, and I highly recommend you do it. And this you can do basically anywhere you want on any type of a table. But I'm gonna rotate it this way. What I do is I line up the cue on this line, and this will help you make sure that you're not steering. So steering is basically what happens when you miss a shot and you know you missed a shot as you're shooting it. So what you do is you hit it and you kind of twist your arm to the right or to the left. So you can kind of like that, you like twist it. So like some of the older players, like Efren Reyes, sometimes when he gets lazy, you'll see him do that type of a thing. And that's not good. You don't want to be doing that. Because now you're adding side spin and you're doing all this stuff you don't want to add. So if you have that issue, like very few, but some like, if there's a few I can name that like always consistently hit it and they go like this every single time. And then you don't want to do that, but that's adding side spin. So a good drill to try to get rid of that is you can look at the line on the felt and wood on the table, and you can line it up and just practice hitting down that line every time. Hit that line, hit that line, hit that line, and do 100 of them. Do like 10 of those in a row, stand up, line up again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you do that, you'll train your body to get used to doing that. So that's a really fun drill. And the last drill you can do, that I can think of at least, besides just shooting straight shots, is there's this drill where you can take the balls like this, and this is really hard. This took me a long time to get used to it. What you do is, this ball, it just barely fits in there. So I'll show you an overhead view of this. This is pretty ridiculous. So just see it, it barely fits. It's not touching, but just has just a hair of room to get out. So I'm gonna push that out, and I'm gonna actually now, I'm gonna hit, this is a really difficult drill. So this is, this is if you really wanna test your really straight, pure shot ability. And I could mess this up very easily right now. I mean, I get it most of the time, but it's tricky. So what you wanna do is you wanna hit in between the balls. So you can see on your screen, there's a cue ball. I'm gonna hit right in between the balls and not touch anything. Ooh, I got it. It's really hard. That's very difficult. As you can see, they're so tight that it's harder than you think. There we go, got it again. So it's good practice. I mean, if you get good at it, I practiced that for a little bit, but the first time I did it, I was frustrated because I could never get it. You saw how close the balls. There's literally just enough room to slide a piece of paper or two in between the balls. But anyway, so that's a great drill to practice your straight shot making. And to be honest, for me, I'm very much into the fundamentals. I believe that if you are really good at the fundamentals, then you can learn how to do the rest. But if your fundamentals are poor, you're going to be capped. There's going to be a point where you can't get any better, because the amount of practice you need to get better is going to be insanely high, because you're having to practice not only the stuff that everyone else is doing, but you also have to practice this funny form that you do. So by getting your fundamentals right, by making sure you're shooting straight, your stroke is straight, your form is good, your stance is the same, all these different things that will really help improve your game. And this is a great drill where if you're trying out different stances, you can practice these drills, especially that drill where you hit the cue ball against the other rail and try to have it come back to your cue tip. If you can practice that drill, do like 10 of those and try different stances with that drill, and you'll see like, oh man, I can't, every time I do the square stance, I hit with left spin, or every time I do the American stance, I put a little bit of right spin on it, and you'll realize you're gonna find that there's gonna be a point where you're gonna be like, this stance works and this stance is better. And you're gonna be like, how is it better? How do you know it's better? It's better because you do that test. And that test says that when you hit that ball, you hit it pure, you hit it straight, hit it with no side spin. So I highly recommend practicing that. And then also, like I said, practicing on the rail with that line. Or take a piece of tape, on a table, and just put a piece of tape down and practice hitting on that tape. I wouldn't do it on the felt, it might ruin the felt, but go to a kitchen table or something, you can practice hitting on that, and it'll really make you focus on straight, 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 straight. You don't want to be steering, right? You don't want to be steering when you shoot. So that's what I have for you today on shooting straight. This is the Billiards Doctor. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.